Yep. Boys basketball, a lot of stuff going on. The state forgot to post some things, but we got it all straightened out on the Stateline Sports Hub. Lutheran will be 4A this year.
Right.
But so will Boylan in both boys and girls basketball because they won sectionals this year.
Right.
So that sends them up to 4A. So now you got Lutheran and Boylan in 4A.
Yeah, I was looking through there. It's everybody, in the NIC 10 except for Belvedere and Freeport, and then also, you throw Lutheran into that mix.
And Boylan's the smallest school actual enrollment yet. They're under 1,000 now.
So we talk about all this stuff about, hopefully they can seed things better and everything, and now you start looking at it's going to be 9 of the 16 teams in the subsectional or whatever that are from this area. So you're really not going to get too much of a difference at this point.
If they would do, and I'm surprised some of them they seem to do the whole sectional.
Yeah, I don't know. And what's weird to me is most of them they do the whole sectional, and I feel like we probably have one of the shorter distances for an entire sectional.
Yeah,
because really we're just going to like Huntley and that kind of
Crystal
stuff,
Lake,
which isn't that far. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a drive for our entire sectional, but for some reason they do that whole subsectional thing and whatever.
You don't want to get me on the state on stuff.
Yeah,
I've had a long week on that.
Yeah, and we talked real quick, about that multiplier. You look at Lutheran.
Success factor.
That success factor. Look at Lutheran. You got kids now that are dealing, because they go back 4 years.
They got 400 actual kids, 450 kids or something.
And they're dealing with stuff from 4 years ago. That's how far back they go in the success factor. So you're looking at, teams that did, go downstate and things like that, but all those guys are gone. You look at that. And
Joe Kellen's at Augustine. I saw him the other night at the Summer League.
Yeah, there's nobody, I think, left from the last state team. Oh, Strawbridge. He was a freshman on that team.
And he's awesome now.
And he is, and he did play on that team, but it's not like you're talking about a big time contributor on that team. So you got one player that did play, some small minutes on a state team that's still there, and he is a great player now. So all those kids though have because of that team, they have to be in 4A now. It's a weird situation to me.
Here's the worst ones. Rockford Lutheran and Rockford Christian are going to be 3A baseball.
Yeah.
Because they had their best years in the career of the school.
Right.
And they both went to a state, one won a state championship and one participated.
Right.
You automatically go now into a state thing if you're a private school.
Yeah, that's
you don't want to be too
you're off
successful.
with that. It's one of the, we were kind of joking. We were like, because Boylan moving back up, we said, boy, I bet you if they would have known they weren't going to win state, they probably just wouldn't have won the sectional. Yeah. So they could have stayed down, So
they're going to they were 3A for 1 year, they're 4A again. And also in Keith, they hate Keith for some reason. Their boys soccer will be 2A because they played in the state. They lost in the championship game. And the girls, because they won 3 state championships in a row, will be 2A in volleyball.
There you go.
I know there's a lot of complaining about, private schools. But then when it comes to things like transfers and stuff, they don't want to act on that. It's just, it's just really sad because we are scaring private schools into not wanting to be in the IHSA anymore.
That's for sure. Well, you're going to have private schools not wanting to be in it. You got Chicago not wanting to be in it. There's not going to be too many people left at some point.
Yeah, I don't want Chicago. Chicago schools don't have to even. I did a story yesterday. They don't have to even follow the same transfer rules.
They make their own decisions.
It's sad.
They just let them handle it.
But the IHSA wants to control private schools. They don't want to control Chicago schools.
They want to control private schools. They want to control all the other schools and what they do. But Chicago, they're just like, whatever, do what you want.
I think Benny comes down from the mafia and says, okay, guys in Bloomington, you mess with us, we're going to mess with you.
That could very well be. There might be some truth to that, and I'm not going to comment any more on that in case he shows up here.
I hate your mother, and I hate your father.
Dave, there's a package waiting at the front door.
Right.
And it's sticky, right?
Benny says, we'll see you next week on the Stateline Sports Hour.